Hello, my name is Jerron Watkins, and I'm here to talk about drowning prevention. Um, Over 1,500 children and adults die every year from drowning, which is a very high number. And I just think with a couple of these methods, if they are followed, we can drastically decrease that number from 1,500. Um, so just to talk about the first thing I want to talk about is just being cautious around the water. Just knowing your surroundings. Don't fall in. And if you do fall in, right, don't panic because when you start to panic, you sink faster. And so if you really could just stay calm, ask for assistance. And if you go by water, never be by yourself, right? Always try to be, if you're a child, be with an adult, and if you're a grown up or whoever, just be with friends because you never really know um, what could happen. And if you do fall in, if you know how to tread the water, right, tread water, because that will help you stay at the top, and just try to remain of your surroundings. No matter if you've been to the pool or the beach or a friend's house one time or 1,000 times, just always know your surroundings. Provide, and if you're a kid, make sure you provide adult supervision to any children, right, that's by the water, to keep them safe. Um, and if you're going with a group of people, like myself, I cannot swim, so I will have to be aware of my abilities by the water and with the people I'm with. So in case someone's a lifeguard or not, they could save me if I accidentally do fall in. Make sure when you go into the water, you don't consume any alcohol beverages, because that can uh, enhance, your mindset, and you can lose track of what's going on. Um, and wherever you are, try to know the risk factor of that place or that water. Um, I think number two, I want to talk about, if you don't know how to swim, learning how to tread water, right? Because you can tread water, that means you can stay at the top of the water for long periods of time. Um, and I think when you tread water, you just keep your arms in a circular motion, just to keep yourself floating. Keep your hands and arms in the water. So when you tread, don't put your arms out the water and in the water. Just keep your arms under the water, nice, treading, and you move your feet um, in like a bicycle motion, like you're riding a bike underwater, and then move your hands in a circular motion. Um, and that'll be a great. Make sure when you're in the water, you take easy breaths. Regular breaths, don't breathe too fast, right? Because your body starts to panic, and when your body starts to panic, your mind go into defense mode, and then it can go bad from there. Um, and if you ever go to a friend's house who has a pool, right? Because people have drowned at other people's houses. Um, just make sure they have a barricade. You know, um, make sure there's no toys around the area or in the water. Um, and if you cannot swim and they want you to get into the water at your friend's house, make sure they can provide like a life jacket or a floating device, because that helps. Um, and so sometimes people go out into nature and go by the water, right? Which is a little different. Never get into water with high current, because if a high current catches you and pushes you, there's no way to get out that current, because the current, some currents is really really strong. Um, Whenever you enter the fresh water of a lake or an ocean, make sure you go in feet first. Because if you dive in head first and then you hit your head on a rock or something that's under the water, it can knock you unconscious and you can die. So that's why it's always safe to go in there feet first. Um, and especially if they have reptiles, right? Never go into the water, or watch out for any reptile that's under the water. Um, I want to talk about things that can help kids not drown. Um, ask first, right? If you don't know how to swim as a kid, make sure you ask first and let people know, like you don't know how to swim. Do they have any safety measures for you? Um, and then when you do get in the water, make sure you play in the water or around the water safely. Um, don't rely on swimming aids. So if they have water that's like 3 feet up to 10 feet, try to know and stick to what's safe for you. And so don't try to do too much in the water or do things that's not safe. Um, Always go feet first, even as a kid, into the water. Um, don't don't let in people pools they have drains. Don't let the drain drag you to the bottom and suck you, right? And because then you can't get out. We have seen that happen many times before, where the drain under the water has sucked people in, um, and like caught them, and some people have drowned. If you're an adult, um, make sure you know your ABCs of the water safety. Um, A is for active adult supervision, so make sure like there's always somebody else with you, supervising. B, make sure there's barriers, and C, as an adult, if you could take classes, there's never it's never too late to take a class to learn how to swim, especially when this whole earth is surrounded by bodies of water and there's water everywhere. Um, and also, you want to follow, every pool has a pool safety measure. Um, and one thing I learned that's very, very helpful is drown proofing, right? You don't need to know how to swim to know how to do this technique. And if you know how to do this technique, it can save many lives. But if you do know how to swim, then drown proofing is another tool that you know how to use and you can use really well. If you don't know how to swim, make sure you do not use this by yourself. So make sure you're always supervised while you're working on this technique. Because if you can learn this technique, surviving it will be incredible and drastically improved. Um, and it can save many lives. So if you follow the caution and the orders that each pool and regulation have, and stay safe and be safe around the water and know your surroundings around wherever you are, that can help prevent you from drowning and whoever you're with. All right, so make sure when you buy the water, you don't play, you don't rough house. If you're at somebody's house, make sure the area is clear. There's no toys and all that, or a net in the water where you might get caught. Because if you get caught in the net, it's very hard to get you out the net. So just be safe and never be afraid to tell people if you cannot swim. Just there's nobody to impress. You're here to save your life. Thank you. This is Jerron Watkins on your talk about drown proofing. Thank you again.